World Polo Entertainment Group. Definitely in the building, right? About to shoot this scene, so I don't really have like a whole lot of time to talk, so I ain't gonna hold y'all captive, right, for so long. If y'all watching this joint on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If y'all watching this joint on Facebook, share the joint for me, please. And if you watching the joint on IGTV, turn your notifications on. What we gonna hold court real quick on is working dudes versus street dudes. I guess my feelings on that, right? Briefly, right? Alright, I think where it kind of breaks down in the lowest common denominator, right, is that one is an entrepreneur and one, one more or less isn't, right? And I want to say that I think that's where it breaks down at, because early on and when we was younger, when I was younger and different things of that nature, then the street dude was different. It was about the money, and one would make way more money than the other one. But in the times we living in right now, the dudes that's working more or less make more money in a lot of situations than street dudes. And even street dudes these days got jobs. So it ain't like it's about the money anymore. So it got to go lower than that. What's the reason that separates the street dude from the working dude, and why that's important, right? So I would say it's being the entrepreneurship, the actual action of being able to be your own boss is what is mainly glorified these days than actual having actual money. Because I'm like, a dude could work all year and get them taxes back at the end of the year and do circles on a lot of street dudes. So like, that one example alone, and that's straight facts, right? So it's not about the money, it's about the nature of not having a boss. So with that being said, what we need to do more or less as dudes in the streets, as dudes that's working, is to create something that we like to do, more or less, that we would love to do, and stop putting our money behind our own dreams. Like, if you're a street dude and you have dreams of being, I'm gonna say for this example, a musician, an artist, right? And you taking your street money, right, and you putting it behind your art form, versus a dude that's working doing the same thing, right? You can kind of see how now both are more or less on the same level. Like, it's not like every song ain't the same, far as like, a dude banging, a dude bust his gun, a dude want to take his family, we fly, what would be the difference if if the street dude wanted to rap about waking up, having a job, and the struggles and the mentality of having a job, and tearing the club down and doing all the same thing, driving nice cars? Like, it wouldn't for real make you like that much of a difference, because like a lot of times I hear dudes rap about how hungry and they starving is, but that's because you sitting there not making no money. And it ain't like sometimes you can't make some money. Like, there is some places that I have seen that is still poverty stricken, whereas though it ain't nothing else to do but to hustle. But in a lot of places, like, right, it ain't like that. and you might don't, want to work the particular jobs and stuff of that nature, but the jobs is sometimes out there. You gotta start from somewhere. And even if you're in the streets, you want to start putting your money together, because you actually want to start from somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? Like you want to say more or less that you got your money from the streets, but in all actuality, we living in a time period where don't nobody even really care for real. You know what I'm saying? So more important than where you got your money from is what I'm saying, is that you are getting money. And I think that's in life where we at right now, just analyzing. It's like, I mean, let's keep it real. How many dudes that, man, that's some straight up, man, don't play with them type, don't play with me type of dudes, right? But they got a job now. Do that make them any less gangster? Do that make them any, can you really dumb their personality down, like, with you, or all of a sudden now that they working, you could play with them? So it's like, it's definitely not about the things that it used to be about. It's definitely about, to me, that entrepreneurship and a person being able to kind of just wake up without having somebody tell them what to do. That's where the most strong part of the energy come from of, oh, I want to be in the streets, you know what I'm saying, versus working. So like, if you're a working person and you want to like kind of meet that person who is a street person, like at some type of crossroad, or vice versa, all y'all gotta do is start, first and foremost, develop a dream, or something that y'all want to do, and start putting y'all money and y'all focus towards it. The same way like a dude trying bang and trying to put his thing together so he can get out the streets. That's the same kind of attitude that if you taking that attitude far as I don't want to work for nobody, and you start putting your money together and your dreams together so that you ain't got to work no more, then y'all kind of be like on the same exact level. So when you say a working dude versus a street dude, like, I grew up in the streets and everybody I knew was in the streets. I'm almost 40. Everybody I know that was in the streets, they got jobs now. But does that make them different than the person I known them to be that would do certain stuff if you played to them? Or how? Nah, so like, it's not about street and it's not about working. It's more about having that charisma, in the times we living in today. And this the real big key. It's just we gotta, if you regardless of which level or which of the two you doing, you just gotta have a dream at the end of that color scheme that you doing, and start putting money together and start putting time towards putting your dream together to open up the doors to what you want to do, so that you don't have to be stuck in the street or stuck behind a job. Because to me, they kind of like the same thing these days. One ain't really no different than the other, outside of one has a longer longevity than the other, as far as you won't lose your freedom. But if taken and used in the correct manner with both of them, the same door open up at the end of the tunnel for both of them, I think. Well, we're Polo Entertainment Group. About to start shooting this movie. I see my crew starting to pull up now. We out here.